Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast.
That's Evan Ham.
That's Maya Smith.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Great talk. Getting ready, gearing up for the Sleight night roast between us.
Yes, friendly bullying.
Friendly bullying.
Friendly fire.
Coming out to see us fight the 17th.
I'm nervous as hell.
yeah, we'll both crush. It'll be great.
What else? Yeah. Talking about just our lives, trying to get content for this roast to see what we can pick on each other about.
Yeah. Give us give a little rundown with our lives, you know.
Funny.
Sweden Drama Club.
Taking animals to school.
Relationships. A really fun podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Evan Ham.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the episode. Thanks again.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences. Friends with differences.
All right.
Podcast time.
Podcast time. Welcome to the Friends with Differences podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Maya Smith, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, hell yeah. How many episodes have you done thus far? How many?
This is going to be... Well, this is going to be actually coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
Because this is going to be the last episode before the Sleight night pops off.
Wow.
So I believe this is 31.
Hell yeah.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
But we're in the 30s now. I'm feeling good about that. This is season 3. This is probably some of the last of season 3 because I'm going to be evolving from this space. But yeah.
Any ideas where your next space will be?
No. But I got a backlog of...
I got a basement.
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. I can make a lot of work.
Only if you're okay with the bodies, and then it's fine.
I make great podcasting. Oh, you want to know what's crazy?
Huh.
Here's a little teaser for like a future podcast. I just had Kevin King on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he brought his brother. He like messaged me and was like, "Hey, can I bring my brother?"
Okay.
I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." He shows up with an urn.
An urn.
An urn
Of a
his
purse?
cremated brother.
Oh, shit. I know he has that joke about his dead brother, but I liked...
Oh my god, I was blindsided so
I didn't
hard.
know, he was legit about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he joined us on the podcast too.
I'm sure he didn't have much to say.
No, it was pretty quiet, but it was amazing. Yeah, shout out Kevin King. He put us both on the Sleight night.
Yeah.
That's brewing. You excited?
I'm nervous. You kind of destroyed Marissa. So, actually, first I had Darren, and I love Darren, but I don't think he was prepared.
Yeah, he seemed to do a pretty good job roasting himself.
Yeah, and then Cole double booked himself, and we couldn't figure out the technicalities to even FaceTime him. So I won by default, but I still put on a show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you had a lot of good materials, and the whole Ouija get-up was hilarious.
I was really upset when I found out that Cole might not have been able to make it beforehand because I had put so much effort into going to Goodwill and finding a trench coat and ordering the beard on Amazon and putting the beads in it and stuff. So
yeah, you crushed it. I felt bad that you didn't have anybody show.
Yeah,
that sucked.
I mean,
the effort put into getting him on the video, and then that didn't even work.
Yeah.
That sucked.
I mean, Cole and I are still cool. I don't know if he's watched the roast battle or anything, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do think Cole's funny. I love what he's doing at Liberty. I am super bummed he didn't show, and I feel I don't know. Yeah, scheduling is hard
Well, I think the man just needs a calendar.
Yeah. I don't even use my calendar now. I just use the Notes app, and I make a date for everything. Like, I have all of my months and all of my activities. The list is getting way too long.
I'm just, like, such an anxious and, like, planning person. Like, my whole career is just planning, but, like, I have lists, I have calendars, like, I've always got to write shit down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, gotta stay organized. It's definitely important. I feel like you are booking a ton. Like, I feel like you're doing a ton of shows.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
kind of.
awesome.
I've kind of had to deny a few lately because I have to get my wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah.
Like, I've been having pain, and I don't want to book any more shows till I figure out when that's going to be, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I just went to Cincinnati on Monday for a Tales of Vicious Mockery with Kevin Eggleston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
cool.
like a D&D type show, which is pretty cool. I played a couple...
Was Stratton on that?
Yeah, he was on that.
Nice.
And then Wayne from Cincinnati, I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but he was really cool. And then one of Kevin's friends, he's not a comedian, but his name's Andrew. He does a lot of D&D stuff with him. And then
Nice.
Another guy that Kevin's touring with just for Tales of Vicious Mockery. I think they're going to Oklahoma pretty soon.
Tales of Vicious Mockery. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Is it like a campaign? Like, are you gonna be on it?
No, so
times,
they're
or?
just one-shot games for each
Nice.
episode each show because there's like different comedians each time. Although I think he does run campaigns with a few of his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the Happy Place open mic.
Mhm. Yeah, I haven't
I was
been in a
there.
minute.
I was there yesterday. It was a fun little crew. Did some new stuff. That was fun. It's just it's a fun vibe. But they do a lot of D&D. Like in that space, they run a lot of games.
A happy place is nice for people that don't like staying out late.
Yeah.
And like have more open weekend days, which is nice.
Yeah, I love the midday mic.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little odd every time, but I love that it's there and it's an opportunity to do comedy.
Yeah, and it's nice to be like have a show that night and kind of just like
Right.
practice one more time in front of an audience, which is good.
Yeah.
Rather than in your pets or whatever.
Yeah, I was trying to, opener, I was like, love a midday mic. I think you should call it Afternoon Lulls.
Yeah,
Is that a great
okay.
name?
Yeah, that's great.
Man.
And then I
like that.
have a show at the end of June. I'm going to Louisville, Kentucky for like the
Nice.
Louisville Comedy Club, which is exciting.
Hell yeah.
That'll be my first show in a comedy club.
Fuck yeah, that's
know.
dope.
Yeah.
That's super
Did
sick.
you sign up for Helium's Indie's Funniest?
I have not yet.
Well, I think you missed your window to
Did
sign
I?
up. Yeah.
When I was at Helium, I thought they said the 7th. But yeah, I
Cole
was
said
out.
the 7th, but it was the 2nd, and I still haven't
Cole,
heard
we
anything
gotta get
back.
this scheduling thing down, brother. Oh
I'm gonna
my
buy him
Lord.
a gift and a calendar.
Yeah, because I was out last night, and it was about 11:46 because I looked at the clock and we were talking about it. And, Bowden and Chelsea were like, yeah, I think you have like 10 minutes. And I was like, well,
Yeah, I think a
yes,
little bit
I'm
of time.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not sweating it too much. I got a lot of book shows coming up that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I love Helium, but I don't need them to tell me I'm Indiana's funniest.
There you go.
I'm excited. Yeah, what we were like kind of beating around the bush about earlier is that, we're roasting each other in the next round of the Sleight Night Roast Battle Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's popping off the 17th.
Yep. I got a few ready to go, but not all of them.
Yeah, I feel good about maybe a couple.
Okay.
Like, a couple I'm excited about. There's many, that
Thoughts
I'm
and ideas, yeah.
there might be something there. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of the inspiration of this podcast. Like, Marissa last round was such a champ and so cool. I don't know, my whole lineage with this was first round, I faced Jalen, J.A.K, Kale, and
My
we go
favorite line from that was Teenage Mutant. I like.
yeah.
Oh my-
Teenage Mutant. I like turtles.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was super fun. And it was relatively easy because we've been friends for so
Right,
long. We
yeah.
just knew each other.
Yeah.
And it's not like we needed to swap information or anything. And all of Jalen. So that one, just like I knew I wanted to be I wanted to do a roast, and I knew Jalen would be down, and it'd be fun because we knew each other. And so that worked well. And then last round, Marissa, I was on the way to a gig in Cincinnati. I was going to Go Bananas, which was a super fun round.
I need to make it there.
It's super fun. They book a couple months out, so
okay.
you just gotta hit them up.
Okay.
But just on the way down, we like talked to each other about a call, and she gave me a call, and we just talked for like 20-some minutes about life and each other's life and all the grimes of it, the worst parts of it.
Traumas.
Yeah. She was just super cool to like go for it and send it. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. But I figured it'd be way cooler if we do a podcast instead.
Hell yeah.
Do you have
any questions for me in order to form your content? I might have to take a few notes if you give me anything.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, there's all sorts of questions. Like when I approached the conversation with Marissa, I was like, how do you want to do this? You want to do like 20 questions, or you just want to like tell each other worse stuff about each other? And then she just took the ball and just started saying all her life story, know? And that was sweet. And then I was like, all right, well, let me see what I got, And I just, mentioned all the little speed bumps on my road.
Little therapy session.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
It was kind of therapeutic, but it was fun, and she was a champ. Super fun to roast. Great writer. But yeah, let's see. Like our friend history, we met last year, tail end of last year. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started comedy in October. Probably met you October, December, somewhere.
Yeah, it was a planetary.
I've
seen you there a lot. I go there quite often because I don't live there. I work in Greenwood, so it doesn't really make sense for me to drive north to go home and come back to Greenwood after. So I usually just, if I'm going to planetary, I take that time after work to just sit and write.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I do the same a lot where I would just come here and write until planetary-ish.
Yeah, because you aren't super far from...
No, it's like 10 minutes, if that.
Do you live in Greenwood or do you work in...
Yeah, I live... Well, I think it's technically Beach Grove, but it's like 7 minutes away.
Okay.
Slightly northeast of here.
Now, what's your ad? I'm just kidding.
Not impressive, that's for sure. We're looking to evolve. Yeah, that's something you can roast about for sure, is that I do live with my parents at the moment.
Okay.
I feel like that's easy pickings right there. That was Marissa. My favorite joke of Marissa's was like, Evan's last name's Hammonds, but he goes by Ham. That's because they revoked the man's when he moved back in with his parents.
Yeah. My favorite one was the Irish Catholic one. Where it says when you got baptized, I held you too long under. That's why you sound like that.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was a good closer. Yeah, that's also true. I grew up Irish Catholic, went to Catholic grade school and high school. Roncalli, if you're familiar.
Yeah, my best friend went to Roncalli.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
you know her.
Oof, who? What? You don't have to...
Her name's Grace.
Okay, I know some Graces.
She's been to some of my shows, so if you've seen her and not recognized her, you probably
not.
Don't know.
And I'm also horrible with names.
Yeah, she's also 25. I think she's a little bit older than you. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. So maybe you did. Maybe you didn't know her. I'll ask.
I'm sure my sister does, and just because she's well connected.
Yeah, and my friend knows of you, so I feel like you would have probably if you.
Yeah, I'm sure if I take a moment to be like, oh yeah, I definitely know you and ran into you.
Some guy off Love Island or whatever. He went to Roncalli, Benedict.
Yeah. So Dan Polizzi.
Oh, okay.
Polizzi, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He popped off, and Joey Molinaro.
Okay.
He also popped off. They both went to Roncalli, both in the same grade, both good friends.
How does that happen? Why do they come from Roncalli? Like, what's the...
Because they beat you down and take... I don't know. Roncalli's got a good and bad reputation. It's got a bad reputation in my mind But
Okay.
like right after I left, a whole bunch of drama popped off with Roncalli.
Okay.
Oh, like they fired a counselor because she was gay.
Damn.
And then a bunch of kids got on Ellen and talked about it.
Oh, no. Ryan White went to my high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
that's
The thing
cool.
is, like, they never talk about it, though. Like, they act like he never existed. And, like, he went to high school with my uncle, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, like I have like loose connections to, I mean, I don't personally know Dan, but like my friend's sibling is like best friends with him. You know, like grew up like in his grade and are still friends. He does he did Fuckboy Island,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was the show, and he, like, I think he's most well known for the polite catcalling sketches.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Joey's most well known for like all the sketches he puts on social media. He was on Barstool's team for a while in Indiana.
I'm not really connected to any famous people, you know, besides the ones I've maybe casually met, which is not many.
Yeah.
But my mom's best friend, brother, was on Pimp My Ride.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
He was on a few episodes, but I remember his son, for one of his birthdays, got, like, you know, those battery-powered cars for kids. It was, like, pimped out. It had, like a DVD player, like, subwoofer. It was crazy.
Yeah, those are the coolest kids, you know, they have their own little car.
Mm-hmm.
That's super fun. So, did you grow up around here?
I grew up in Kokomo in Tipton, Indiana, so it's like
Okay.
an hour north of Indy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Kokomo's known for, like, car manufacturing, and Tipton's just,
In
like...
strip clubs.
The hip hopper, yes.
Yeah.
Never been. I know
Yeah.
some people I went to high school with work there. Get arrested pretty frequently.
Yeah, I just heard about it, like, via, like, truckers would stop there, like, in Kokomo for the strip clubs. Like, I've heard that from multiple locations. I don't know if it's still current, but it used to be a real thing.
Bill Clinton once came to Kokomo. There's a ice cream place called Cone Palace, which I love. It's my favorite.
Cone Palace?
Cone Palace.
thank
What
God.
did you think? Cone Palace?
Dude.
Yeah, it's another strip club.
Get your head out of the gutter, Evan. Jesus.
No, but anyways, Bill Clinton showed up there one time, and one of, like, my high school, another high school student I went to high school with, he was in my grade, he said, "How's Monica?" to Bill Clinton. He was in the Cone Palace.
I am sure he got shit like that all the time, and I bet he answered it like a champ. He was probably just like...
Do I know why Bill Clinton was in Coke? No. I just know that. Yes,
Sure.
probably.
Yeah, that man. Quite wild. I don't know, my brain jumped a whole bunch of Epstein shit, but let's go. Go on.
I was going to ask you about, like, where you grew up. I know you didn't live here for a little while and you moved back here or something.
Yeah, so my kind of journey, went to Catholic grade school, Catholic high school here, all like Southside Indy, and then went to University of Cincinnati for architecture.
Yep, okay.
Was there 4 years, loved Cincinnati, and then moved out to New York for 2 years.
Cool.
Quit that job, moved back here, tried to start a business here. It's not going great. You can probably make fun of me for that because it's not incredibly profitable.
Okay. Was it architecture business or?
My aim was to do prototyping and scale models, so I sold a good amount of like 3D prints.
Yeah.
Did a good amount of like schematic design for architecture projects and like early design stuff for some clients.
Cool.
It's been a great experience. Humbling to a degree because it's not taken off like I want, you know?
Yeah.
And like, there's been projects like, I don't know if you saw that giant aluminum box in the back.
Yeah,
That's my laser cutter project, which I've been working on since I've been here. and that's been 2+ years now, and it's not running, you know, at the moment. It'll move, it's just not firing lasers.
Gotcha. Lasers are cool.
Lasers are great. I have a laser that fires, it's just not the big one.
Right.
So I invested a lot of time into it and never crossed the finish line there.
Well, it
So
makes
that's
you
my-
feel better. I've never even tried to start a business. So.
Yeah, I was determined. The whole, like, I went to a wedding in France, which was very baller.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was incredibly epic. We stayed at a chateau. It was a movie for sure.
Cool.
And I stayed a couple extra days in France alone after like the wedding party and whatnot. And then I was exploring, and I took a train out of Paris to Versailles. Saw the House of Versailles and like the epic hall of mirrors, the entire, I'm gonna call it a castle. I mean, it is a chateau. It's incredible. And then I went to there's like a gardens that is the Gardens of Versailles. The Gardens of the Palace of Versailles is probably more accurate. And it's like it feels like a national park. It's huge. And incredible sculptures from centuries back. And like, I don't know, there's so much layered like gold and stone, and it's so beautiful. It's like no wonder all of France was starving, you know.
Did you go to France because they had lasers in the wedding?
No, there were fireworks, no lasers.
Gotcha. I lived in Sweden for a month.
Really? That's cool.
I traveled abroad with like some people from Purdue, because that's where I graduated from, and then some students from North Carolina State University.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a Purdue fan, but I'm gonna have to make fun of you for that.
I'm a fan and a graduate. I am Purdue alumni.
Even worse. No, just kidding. I grew up and still are quite a big IU fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My mom and sister both went there. I go to games all the time.
That's valid. It's a pretty campus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. They really don't want Purdue people coming down there. Like, I had a cousin and friends that went there, and I never really made it down to Bloomington just to chill and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't have too much grasp. I don't wish Purdue's downfall or anything. I want to beat them in sports and whatnot, but I hope the university's well. The weird IPY, that breakup's been weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of changing the landscape of downtown. It's going to impact downtown's landscape a good amount.
There's kind of a lot of weird miscellaneous colleges. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to U of Indy. That's like kind of, you blink and you miss it.
Yeah,
not a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's definitely a small campus. I knew a good amount of people that went there, actually.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, you lived in Switzerland? Sweden.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
What brought you to Sweden?
So it was like a natural resources type of like study abroad. So I really wanted to go somewhere. Originally I was going to go to Spain, but that didn't work out because I also minored in Spanish.
Oh, nice. Cool. So you're pretty affluent?
Kind of like you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
I don't have any friends that like speak Spanish. I work with a lot of Hispanics.
How racist of you. No, I'm just kidding.
Not really. I mean, I dated a Mexican guy before, so I like speak Spanish with his family, but...
That's cool.
Yeah.
I took 4 years of French in high school, and I suck at French. I should not have passed AP French, but I did. Failed that AP exam, though, for sure.
No, but like Sweden was cool. We also were with some like Swedish students and one girl from Germany who was super cool. It was a lot of hiking and nature stuff, so it was a lot of... They were really into their saunas, I can say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hit them up. Do they do like bathhouses? Is that
I didn't see any
accurate?
bathhouses. No, it's just kind of... Saunas are easy because really all you need is like a wood room and some hot coals and water. So I didn't spend a lot of time in the cities. Really, it was just a bunch of hiking. I ate like fresh blueberries.
Yeah, the food in Paris impressed me so much. Like, I loved it. And it felt like so fresh and accessible.
Yeah.
Food here sucks.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I had Swedish McDonald's. It was a little different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was
Did they have a Big Mac?
It's so hard to remember. I feel like their fries were different too.
Huh. Well, it wasn't like the typical menu.
The Swedish food is good. It was pretty easy to adjust because at the time I was vegan, and Sweden has a lot of vegan options.
That's
believe
cool.
it or not.
Yeah, it's probably not like America's, and I don't know, probably Indiana too. Was just like so heavily meat indulgent. Like everything has a meat. Like I don't know, I eat probably way too much meat. Probably killed way too much animals.
I'd probably still be skinny and vegan if like I just didn't date dudes. You know, like long-term relationships.
Didn't date dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like,
We're horrible influences. We're horrible.
Well, when you're dating a Mexican guy and their family just cooks all the time, it's all like, meat and stuff, and then like my current boyfriend, he's like, it's not a real meal if there's not protein. And I was like, I'd be cool with like avocado toast as a meal,
Yeah, protein doesn't default to meat. I mean, it's easy to make that connection, but there's other sources out there.
Yeah. Plus, you can write it down. I don't really cook, like I can and I have, but like.
Whoa! Don't cook.
My
I don't
boyfriend
cook
cooks all the time, and before I lived with him, my best friend, we were roommates, and she cooked all the time. And I was like, man, I'll just eat whatever you make, dog. Like I won't bitch about it.
Yeah, I've gotten to meet your boyfriend a couple of times. Seems chill, seems laid back.
Yeah, he's kind of an introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been
about a year.
on and off? Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah, my longest relationship was just at a year.
Mine was 2, and that was
Not a great high score.
It was 2 years too long.
Damn.
Yeah, no, we chilling. We got a couple cats and a dog.
Nice.
The dog's
Together.
really his, yeah. I mean, the
Dang.
cats were mine, and then he had a dog, and now we have 2 cats and a dog.
Big family now.
Yeah, the dog and the cats don't really, like, get along very much.
Classic.
Because dog just wants to, like, eat him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Get out of my territory.
Yeah.
But the cats can fuck him up, I'm sure. I had a dog that
She's
got
got a
fucked
scar.
up by a cat when I was a kid. For sure. I had a beagle that was just super fat. I made an Instagram for him named Rubber Bandit because his name was Bandit.
Cute.
He was so obese.
Oh, so you had an Instagram for your pet. Okay.
Yeah. You can look it up. I'm sure it's still active. Rubber Bandit. Rubber _ bandit _ if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, the posts were super cheesy. Like I think I had 3 posts, and like one of them was like it was the puppy bowl, and it was like, this is my inspiration, like from Bandit's perspective. I love that dog so much. It was really sad towards the end of life. I mean, she got her ass kicked a couple of times because she was just fat and rowdy. And got her ass kicked by another dog in the neighborhood once she got out. And then at the end of her, oh my gosh, she would like be too fat. And this was like early in high school for me. And I'd be in the basement just like playing a game. And then I'd see her at like the top of the stairs. I'd be like, don't do it. Because I knew like she would start coming down the stairs, but she was too fat at that point where like her legs couldn't do it. And she'd just tumble down. I'd be like, no, stop, don't.
Dude, my last 2 pets have died of like tragic. Like
really?
my parents' bloodhound, he had renal cancer. So like the
Renal?
tumor, he had a tumor in his butthole.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my god.
He
You
used to
can't
have
just shit that out.
no. I used to have some fish, and we introduced new fish to the tank. Well, I didn't, and their eyeballs fell out.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's
Damn.
crazy. They were swimming without eyes. I didn't see it. I only heard about it. And then my very first cat I ever had, she like died of cancer. She was like a year or 2 old. She was not long.
Dang.
Yeah, 2 years old.
That's tragic. I love animals.
Me too.
Probably more than people. I don't know. I had a fish. Like we had multiple fish growing up, but we had like a beta fish, you know, and like a friend came over and we went fishing and he caught like the smallest bluegill, like the size of the beta fish. So we were like, let's put it in the tank.
Oh,
and we put it in
no.
the tank. We like come back like 20 minutes later or something. The only thing left of the beta fish was its eyes just floating on the top. I was like, oh my god, he ate it. He ate the whole thing.
Did you keep the bluegill?
I don't think so. No, I think we ditched him at that point.
I have a cute story about catching wild animals. You know, what are they called? The windows by basement, or the little trenches by basement windows, like the metal ones, half circles.
Yeah, what are those called?
You're an architect. You should know this.
Yeah, I was gonna call it the bulkhead. That's just so wrong. What is that called?
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So when I lived in Lafayette, like when I was younger, we used to get toads in it all the time. So like I took a toad to school once when I was like in 3rd grade. Yeah.
Took a toad to school?
Uh-huh. Like on the bus, I had it in my hand, it started pooping on me, so I like tossed it and it was just hopping on the floor. I was like, somebody catch my toad!
Wow, you brought a toad to school? That's so weird.
And like in Cracker Barrel, they had like, for girls, these like treasure chest things that had like candy necklaces and stuff in it. I took all that out, it was empty, and I put it in there and I kept it in my desk for the day. And then I was like, it hasn't been eating, should probably put it back. So I had a toad go to school with me in 3rd grade.
Dang. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was fun.
I don't think I ever brought anything living to school like that. No. But then we had like a pet. Was it I think it was a rat. I think it was a pet rat in 4th grade. I was gonna say a mouse, but that thing was a rat.
I had a friend who used to have pet rats.
We had it as like a class pet.
Yeah, she was like, they're actually kind of clean, you know, they're kind of like...
Yeah, if they're not just eating garbage all the time.
I'm like a rat, I just eat garbage all the time.
When I lived in New York, I saw rats all the fucking time. You know, you just run into them constantly. There was one time went to take out the trash, you know, opened up the enclosure for the trash, and like on top of the trash were 3 rats that just scattered instantly. And I was like, holy shit.
I've never been to New York. I had a friend from college that lives up there, but every time I asked, it was like, well, I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop asking. So.
I love New York. It's a great city.
Yeah.
Yep. I probably should have started comedy before I moved back. But, you know, it's all timing.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're super funny. I think you'll go really far. I mean, you've been producing shows and open mics and stuff?
Yeah, I did my first show last week, Thursday.
Yeah.
At the If Theater, Indie Fringe Theater.
Was that a little different than just like a normal stand-up set per person? You said something about skits or something?
Well, it was a Pro-Am open mic. So I had 5 comics that I considered pros. Mm-hmm. Shout out Stratton, Jordan, Chelsea, Aisha, Zach. I think that's 5. Mm-hmm. So the whole concept was the pros start off and they do their type 5. And we kind of build the panel as they do their type 5. Kind of setting the bar. And then afterwards, it's an open mic with feedback. So then you go up, do your 5 minutes, and then get 5 minutes of feedback from the panel.
That's cool.
Yeah, it went well. It was super fun. Had 5 pros and 5 comics on the open mic portion. And, I mean, I do believe in the format a lot. I love the feedback aspect.
Yeah.
It's very rare, it seems like. And, like, yeah, a Pro-Am style open mic is, I think, my favorite at the moment. I'm getting a lot of comparisons to Kill Tony, you know, with a panel.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's bad. I think it's different. I don't think it's Kill Tony.
Literally on Friday, I had someone come up to me because I was doing a show in Newcastle. They said, "Have you heard of Kill Tony?"
Yeah.
I'm like, that's asking like the average person if they've heard of Walmart, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right. Kill Tony. Who?
You're right.
Yeah, no, I love Kill Tony. I've seen a lot. Like I started from episode 1. I'm on episode 185.
Oh wow, you just watched them in order?
Yeah. That's where I'm at. And they're at like 700 and something. This is like over a decade ago.
Yeah.
When they started. But it used to be, I feel like, more advice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like actually.
Now they just be getting roasted and shit.
Yeah, for sure. And every once in a while they give a tip, but it's mostly just like a who are you and what can we say?
And they could
you?
be brutal sometimes. They're like, get off the fucking stage. Like, get out of here.
Big time.
Yeah.
But I loved how, like, the concept of how it started.
Mm-hmm.
It was a free show for the longest time at the Comedy Store in California. Yeah, super inspiring stuff. I definitely want... It seems like... I've heard a lot of people say, like, you gotta produce your own shows is, like, essentially a way to grow and, like, brand yourself. I don't know if it's necessarily true. I
don't have, like, a huge desire to produce shows. Sometimes I get, like, the thought of, oh, you know what would be a really cool lineup, or, like, I really fuck with these people and they're really talented. Mm-hmm. But on the same note, I don't know. I don't know anything about producing shows. I don't know how the money flows or how you make profit or really how any of that works.
Yeah. Yeah, this past show I ran was a free show that I was asking for donations. And yeah, shout out everybody that helped, including Jalen. Yeah, I didn't give him a shout out before, but he helped on all the audio and lights, which was awesome. But I mean, I definitely took a hit at the end of the day just because I paid all the comics for coming.
Yeah, I think producing shows is a really good way to network and get to know people in different places. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Kevin Eggleston. He's been putting me on shows like out of state and really just been putting me on a show at least once a month, which is awesome. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I get to go to new places, and I have goals this year of like going out of the indie area to do more open mics. Nice. So definitely on my goal list, my to do soon.
Yeah, I definitely suggest go bananas. Let's see, other out of state. I did Zanies in Nashville. That was super cool. I did a show in Chicago. It was just an open mic. It was a competition. That was really fun.
It is tough for me to get far though, because I have like a job that 8 to 5 o'clock every weekday. So
yeah, I got a full-time gig too. So it definitely, I don't know. It's hard to juggle competing interests, but gotta pay the bills somehow.
Yeah, I've been like saving my vacation days this year because I'm like, I never know when I might do or go somewhere. It's kind of far and I need to take time off work. So
yeah, like I did the Zanies and went on vacation right afterwards. So I used a lot of my PTO.
In Nashville?
I went to Nashville, came back, and then flew to Florida and went on a cruise.
Oh, okay.
So that was super sweet.
I've been on a cruise. It was a weird age though. I was 19. So like I wasn't quite in high school, but like I just started college, but I couldn't drink. So like I wanted to find people.
International waters?
Yeah, I mean not on the boat.
Yeah.
But once you hit like land in Mexico or whatever, you could drink. But every time I went up there for drinks, I'm pretty sure they were like watered down as heck. I don't know if it's because of my age or what, but like I. I shout out Badu. He was the server that just hooked me up all cruise. He was so much fun. I love like the cruise vibe is so good. We all had like the drink package, which I believe was like 14 drinks a day. That's a lot
like
for me at least. Like.
Yeah, one day I hit it. And then got a couple of drinks from my fam. Yeah.
No, the cruise I was on, so I ended up hanging out with like a younger kind of crowd. They were like a year or two younger than me, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be alone the whole cruise or hang out with my grandma the whole time.
Yeah.
Because she took me, which was super awesome. But we ended up going back to one of their rooms, and they had snuck alcohol on the cruise because you have to like check whatever you bring. Yeah. I think you're allowed like 2 bottles of wine. That's not a big deal. which is mostly how I got my tipsy on. But they put alcohol in shampoo bottles to sneak it out, which would be smart if they had cleaned them out first.
Oh, God.
I swear to God, this girl burped a bubble.
Oh, my.
Yeah. She was like,
crazy.
there was suds in her mouth. I was like, you couldn't at least bother to rinse them out first? Like...
Yeah. I remember going on a cruise when I was 17. My brother was 18, so I thought he could buy alcohol at 18. Because I annoyed him with how much I was like, yo, give me drinks, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that was a wild time. I also let my little cousins try alcohol for the first time, and, yeah.
I thought we weren't incriminating ourselves.
We were in international waters, there was no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
They turned out solid. They're good people.
I didn't do a whole lot of underage drinking, honestly. Like, especially in high school, I didn't really. I smoked a lot of the marijuanas. I don't really do that anymore, but yeah, people would be shocked in high school, like, you smoked weed because you're like an honors student and get A's all the time, and you're always smoked. I'm like, have you seen who I hang out with? Like, I don't know why you're so surprised.
Yeah, in high school, I definitely try to keep as low profile as possible. At Roncalli, there's this SAP program, Student Assistance Program, and it's like a gray cloud. I swear to God, it's terrifying because it just. I'm sure it's helped people, but it seems like it's also just like destroyed some people's social lives and like just resulted in like, oh, you get sapped, you're taking time bomb, you're gonna get kicked out in like a month or something.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of great things to say about Rock, to be honest. They had Mr. Ratliff was the best part. Miss Joe also fantastic. There's a lot of fantastic people, but the institution seems very hypocritical at times.
Gotcha.
You know, promoting a lot of Christian values, but seemingly hypocritical a lot.
I can get
Should
that.
practice some of that forgiveness you preach, huh?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
My high
I don't
school
know
was
why
fine.
I'm bitter. They gave me an honors diploma. It was
Yeah.
fine, you know?
I don't really have anything great to say about my school there. I went to Western in Maroochville. I don't know, I was in drama club for a little while. Not for a little while, from like 6th grade to senior year of high school.
Drama club.
Yeah.
That's fun. So, I was not in drama club. Is that like Glee? That's Glee, right?
It's like theater.
Yeah.
It's like plays and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of
singing.
production? No singing.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No.
Not dramatic enough.
Well, we didn't have like a hugely funded program or anything.
Yeah, they couldn't pay enough for you to sing. You know.
And also, like, drama club was super kind of gay. Like, it's definitely the place where you have your gay awakening.
yeah. A lot of touchy-feely drama.
I don't know, but there was this place above the stage. I don't know how you got there, but it was just like this open cavity. I never got to go up there because like I wasn't cool enough or whatever. But they like signed their names up there, which I got in trouble for later because I mean, if you're vandalizing and being somewhere you're not supposed to and you write your name down, you're gonna get caught. But the dudes had made something called the Rack of Well Hung. So they quote unquote measured their dicks with duct tape and put it all on a poster and put it in that space above the stage. They called it Narnia. And then our director had found it. And I just have a picture of her somewhere just holding this poster with like these high school dudes like supposedly dick lengths just on stage.
Damn. I wonder if they were just like ripping off duct tape, like, yeah, that's mine. Or if these motherfuckers get hard.
I wouldn't even doubt that second thing. I wouldn't even doubt it. I wouldn't even doubt it.
Yeah. Damn. Well, theater kids, they have their fun, for sure. I helped with a couple of productions.
Yeah.
I was stage crew for Annie and 42nd Street.
The coolest, like, because it's expensive to do really well-known scripts. Like, you have to pay for the rights or something.
Oh, yeah.
So,
License, probably.
yeah, the best one we ever did was, like, Peter Pan. And
Nice.
My friend at the time was the lead. She got the lead in every play for some reason, which is fine. But then she friend broke up with me my senior year of high school, and I only had one line in that whole play because there's like a handful of lead roles and then just a bunch of like supplementary roles. And I was like, you know what? Peace out. I don't even mean.
Yeah, I never, like, I don't know, acted in like, oh, this is fun, in Catholic grade school. Every year, Good Friday, we put on an act of a play of like the crucifixion.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Violent.
Yeah, but then it would end with him resurrecting, and that would be considered then Easter, like
Yeah.
Easter's upon us.
Yeah.
But I played Pontius Pilate in that, so.
What did
like,
you played? What?
Pontius Pilate, he was like
I don't know my religious anything.
Yeah, he was the guy who sent Jesus to die. He was like, Barabbas or Jesus? And everybody was like, free Barabbas, kill Jesus. And I was like, I wash my hands of this. And I was like, alright, kill him.
You villain.
Yeah, I was the villain.
I played the crazy Aunt Zelda, who was the murderer in middle school. I think it was like 8th grade. That was fun. I had a Nerf gun.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
She's like, we can't use fake guns that look real. I was like, Nerf gun it is.
Yeah. Damn, can't be too close. Did you ever do like, so drama have like improv kind of stuff going on?
A little bit for like warm-ups before we actually ran through the plays, but not really. I would like to do more improv stuff, you know? Because like I do have that theater background, and I like the D&D shows with Kevin because it is totally off-the-cuff improv.
Right. I've played some D&D, that is the most fun part, is just like, you're playing a character and you're just riffing, you're just having fun, making what you can. It is enjoyable, if you're with like the right group of people.
I like doing new things. I just like trying new stuff, so.
Yeah, like, Jeremiah Watkins' Stand Up on the Spot series.
Yeah.
That's super good. I'd love to do something like that. It kind of reminds me of like Liberty, the Bucket at Liberty. I love.
And
love
then
that.
I keep bringing him up, but Kevin, he does Riffs Alive at Monsters, the bar.
Yeah, I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things about the show.
He threw me on there one time and just went to watch. And that was a good time.
Yeah, is that set online? I feel like I've seen.
I don't know. I don't think it is.
I feel like I've seen a couple, like, because you have a YouTube page, right?
I do, but it's really just for like competition submissions,
Yeah.
which was also very humbling for me this year.
Yeah, let's see, I did like a one night competition in Chicago. That was the open mic I did in Chicago, and I just signed up, and they were like, it's a competition. And I was like, alright, cool. And I feel like I lost I don't know, there were other, of course, funny comics, but I think I misgendered. I misgendered a judge accidentally. So that didn't work in my favor.
Damn. I did, my first one was at Red Curb, and the person that won it, she did amazing. She was hilarious. But she had just finished this class, I think, with Chris Klein, and I think that's the one it was. But she killed it, and she won. This was like her first show open mic ever. So,
Dang.
Well deserved.
Hell yeah.
But I signed up for a few competitions this year. I just got results back from the Don't Tell one. They said they had like 1,600 people sign up.
Yeah.
So they could only pick 5% of these submissions. So like you can't really feel bad about that.
Yeah, that's a lot. I definitely haven't signed up for many competitions. There's been multiple people that have like asked me to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something about competitions just seems so at juxtaposition with comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, comedy is very subjective, and like, what are you judging it based off of? Like, total laughs, or like biggest laugh, or like,
Yeah.
there's different types of laughs. I don't know. It's odd to like put competing styles up against each other when they're like clearly in their own lane.
Yeah, and also maybe I'm biased just because I do stand up, but I feel like it's becoming more of a popular thing to try.
Competitions?
Or just stand up in general.
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely on a boom.
Kill
for
Tony
sure.
blowing up, and like I know I got really interested in stand up during COVID because
Yeah.
I was like stuck at home a lot and like wasn't going out. And I just started watching a lot of stand up, and I just found myself for writing jokes.
Yeah.
And like kind of after that, I was like, I knew at some point I wanted to start doing it. So
Yeah, cool.
shout out to Alex Price at Helium for being a good teacher in that class, and I one of the few people from those classes I think that have like stuck with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you did the class at Helium. Have you done any other classes or anything
No.
like that?
I would consider like an improv class because
That's the only kind of class I've genuinely considered just to like
Yeah.
do improv, just because I think it'd be fun.
and at this point I think I can just learn a lot from vets in the scene.
Yeah.
Just talking to them and asking
For
them
sure.
questions and
Yeah,
watching. Yeah.
that was the idea with the pro-am, Mike. It's like, man, I want to get people I consider pros to give feedback, you know, and also like have them perform to like give some credibility, you know, let everybody see what they're about. That way they're not just giving advice without any sort of backing.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm all for it. I started and did shows, like multiple shows at Crackers. That was like a place that I could book, you know, and like promote. It felt very nice to be able to like send people a link to buy a ticket to
Yeah.
come to my show.
Hell yeah.
I love that. And Jerry Goebel, who is a comedian I love and respect a lot, ran the class there. But I didn't pursue that because I don't know, I got a very large ego. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to prove that I knew and I have a good judge of what's funny. But obviously I could benefit from learning.
Yeah.
I mean, who could?
I used it more as like a jumping off point, like a confidence booster to get started because I just didn't really know where to start. Plus, you know, I'm always been doing extracurriculars my whole life, so I enjoy doing things outside of work that are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did a couple of shows at Crackers before I really hit the open mic scene. I loved going up and doing like 5 minutes at Crackers, and then like next month I had another show at Crackers, so let's come up with a new 5 and just go for it. But now I love just going to open mics, trying new stuff, and really kind of like curating a new like showcase. Like at the very, like for a while, like 3 or 4 months, I was like, all right, every show I'm gonna come new material, you know. And now I'm doing enough showcases where I'm like, okay, that's seemingly unreasonable and
Totally.
I mean, it's just not productive to a degree because, it's unreasonable to assume that everybody's heard all of my material already and I need to come up with new stuff. But at the very start, it felt like the same people are going to come, so let's give them something new.
Yeah.
And also, Crackers, like I went a lot last year before I started going to, or before I became a comic myself. I went to their open mic a lot of weeks, and there was multiple acts that I feel like I knew, like front and back, which I didn't love, you know. I get it.
Yeah.
But it felt too consistent for open mic.
I feel like I always wanted to do like new jokes almost every open mic, which is also unrealistic if you're going multiple a week. So I think like work on some new ones each week rather than just every new jokes every open mic, which I've kind of been trying to do.
Yeah, that's a good call. I did some new stuff, like a whole new set yesterday at Happy Place that I was really happy with. Tomorrow I'm doing Mucky Ducks. I'm hosting the Mucky Duck Most Decibel Monday competition.
Sweet.
This is coming out tomorrow, so if you're listening, come out to Mucky Ducks for the competition and sign up and get the crowd the loudest, and you can walk out with $50.
Oh yeah.
Cool stuff for sure. I do like hosting. It is a fun time. It's like definitely a different vibe to be like on the whole show, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, if I'm just doing a set, I just do my material and then I chill out,
I like hosting. It's kind of hard though, because not only you have to manage like people's names, anything you want to say before they get on stage, maybe tag a joke, but also manage the light. It's a lot. You gotta focus.
Yeah,
but
lock in.
I like hosting because when you come up with taglines, after someone's set and get laughs out of that, that's always super fun. And it's also kind of a good way to practice improv, if you will.
For sure.
5 minutes to write a joke off of, somebody else's thoughts.
Yeah, I do love that. I do love, it's like writing a joke on a deadline. And I'm good on a deadline. I like it. It's beneficial. Yeah, I started comedy in October and was trying to write a joke every day, like before I went on stage, and then it just worked out. But that routine of writing a joke every day was super beneficial.
Do you there's a group on Facebook, it's called the Writing Room or something. They post prompts like twice a day, one during the day and one late in the evening with just a word, and like you just write a joke based off that word in the comments, and they pick a winner. I think that I have my notifications on for that. I think John Mulhill is one of the admins for it, but it's really nice practice. You kind of get to see how other people write jokes based off like the same ideas. It's really
I love like I feel like Sohail is a really good like media presence, and he does like he'll post a lot and then be like, what's the name of my memoir? Wrong answers only. And
yeah,
it's just
I saw that.
fun to
Yeah.
look around,
Yeah.
So I definitely could. I'm getting better at social media, but man, it's not my like. I don't want to spend all my time on social media. It's just draining to a degree.
Yeah, I notice I'm on Facebook a lot. Mostly just kind of I'm trying to build my presence online, which can be consuming. So
Yeah, I need a Facebook page, not a profile, because there's too many people that like I don't know that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Like I am kind of friends with them, but it's like
my
really
Facebook is like
need a
dedicated
page.
just to comedy. Yeah. I need to figure that stuff out. I'm really not very super social media tech savvy.
No, like I'm trying to learn how to like posting stories is like I feel like I'm learning new shit every time I post a story. I don't know, that's fun. So you did a lot of extracurriculars in like high school?
Yeah,
Like
drama
drama.
club, environmental club, Spanish club,
Environmental club.
National Honor Society.
All right.
Is that it?
Let's see. I was on the bowling team.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, you're on the bowling team? That's so cool.
Yeah. For a good couple years. I wasn't great, but it was fun.
Fuck yeah. You know your average?
Probably like 170.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my senior year, my average was the best for sure. For a good while, it was over 200.
Nice.
It was too good. It was like I was like on track to make like the like all-stars team of like the region or whatever for like all the high schools around, and I did not want to be on it.
I knew a girl that would bowl a 300 casually all the time.
Crazy. That's my buddy Dakota. He went on to bowl for, was it Marion? I had a friend that bowled at Marion. I might have had two. Did they both bowl at Marion? I don't know. Bowling, it's a fun pastime. I loved it because it was so casual. Like practices were just bowling. You just go to the bowling alley and hang out.
And then at Purdue, what else? I was also in an environmental club. It was called Boiler Green Initiative. I was an ambassador for my major. I helped run the weed club at Purdue.
The Weed Club.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds epic. What was the Weed Club about? Is that like the
So-
Church of Cannabis or something?
So there's a national organization. It's called the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, but it was like the Purdue version.
Okay.
So
So you were like picketing or something.
we had like weekly meetings. We do like cannabis themed Jeopardy, and I know we were on the news at one point for like something, and we did like not that kind of bake sales, and I don't really know how much we actually did to reform the laws. It was just kind of like a similar interest group, if that makes sense.
Promoting, accepting ideas.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an impact. I did a medical hemp and cannabis class. Medical hemp and cannabis. Yeah, that was the name of the course. And that was my senior year, and that was super cool. I was like hemp's extremely fascinating,
You
and
can do so much with it.
right.
Yeah.
And for forever, it was illegal to grow hemp, like federally, until 2018, the Farm Act. Then it became legal federally, and that's why we have the CBD boom.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got like all sorts of CBD products being sold. But
And I mean, I know marijuana's illegal in Indiana, but like any smoke shop can sell up to a percentage of THC, and it's nearly the same thing, you know?
yes and no.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird.
So there's so many. So hemp is the marijuana plant, the cannabis plant, but it has less than a 0.3% THC.
Mm-hmm.
So THC is a cannabinoid, and the loophole that most places now pursue
THCA or
is
something
like
like yeah.
variants of
Yeah.
THC, like
Mhm.
THCA, THCP, and just like slight variations that have very similar psychoactive aspects or properties. The real hit to the culture probably is like hemp is like such a strong, like fibrous plant.
Yeah, and paper and fabric out of
Right.
it, and
So the tactile market,
yeah,
textile
Oh,
market was huge. Like in the early 19th century, and there's like medicines and like clothes, and like you can use hemp as a building material too. It has like incredible like fire protective properties. It's really kind of a miracle plant that was just like shut down for like a century for some racist bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's like kind of coming back, but really it's came back strong just with like CBD shit. Like the advantages of the rest of the plant that aren't just like the buds that people smoke isn't being actualized yet. Man,
Support hemp.
I do a lot of 3D printing.
Mm-hmm.
I like 3D printing a lot. I did a class. It was actually a graduate level class my senior year of college, and it was all like about 3D printing and kind of experimental 3D printing. So we like printed with like concrete and clay and like paper or like wood fibers. And so like I believe and want, like I wish I could figure out, like I would love to like spend like a good amount of time developing a method to 3D print hemp.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be so beneficial and so cool. Hemp should be used as a building material. There's like companies like Hempcrete where they make like concrete blocks.
What do you
except
mean?
they're hemp.
Asbestos is fine.
Yeah. Hemp just seems so at one with nature, you know?
Yeah.
It's so cool. Concrete produces so much pollution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's messed up. Let's use some hemp.
So you got any weird allergies?
Yeah, kind of. Let's see, I'm allergic to penicillin and augmentin. Is that right?
Augmentin. Is that like another
beats me.
Fungus base.
This
Okay.
is just what I was told.
Okay.
You know? So this is a weird thing. So like last year, maybe a year and a half ago,
I think so.
like basically like once or twice a month for like a solid 5 months probably, I just wake up just like covered head to toe in like hives, like full
Ooh.
body
Oh,
wrap. Like I
no.
look like Deadpool when I woke
Oh
up.
shit.
And just the whole body irritated. And I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. And I think I deduced that it was all kind of stress related. It's the power of my mind just popping. Because, I mean, there's no like allergy or substance that differentiated. I just was, I think, mentally strained and my body would pop. But that happened for a minute. It was a weird phase for sure. Yeah, I'd joke around with my friends like I could feel it coming. I was like, I'm turning into Deadpool. It's coming.
Shit.
Yeah, it was bad. It was definitely bad. One of the weirdest things for sure. What about you? You got weird allergies?
No, not really. Dust, mold, pollen, cats. Even though I have to, I kind of beat my cat allergy, like exposure. Essentially,
Man, beat
Destroyed
my
it.
cat.
yeah.
Allergy.
Yeah, I don't never hit my cats. Promise. Bactrim, which is like another antibiotic. Yeah. No, not really. I'm just trying to think.
Can I
Main things
ask-
I could say about you.
Is this a birthmark?
Yes. Yeah. You've heard my resting domestic violence face
Oh, yeah.
joke.
That's a great joke.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It works every time.
Let's see. I don't know. Let's see some other weird things about me. I really started dating in college. I really didn't date much in high school.
Me neither.
Bowling team, Catholic. I'm banned from Kohl's for life.
Oh yeah, and
That's a
we're also
weird one.
banned on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's like,
My parents are divorced.
yeah,
That
your
helps.
family life? And they're divorced, but you get along with them?
I'm a very independent person. I'm an only child by blood, but I have 7 step-siblings.
Yeah.
4 of which only one passed away in 2019.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. 3 of... I didn't bring them with me today, unfortunately. 3 of which I only talk to. I'm not a huge fan of my mom's husband. They dabbled in alcoholism for about 6 years.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
That is hard.
Yeah, but I haven't lived at home since my freshman year of college, so
Nice.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm
yeah.
independent to a fault.
Oh, really?
I'd rather live in my car than ask for help. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ask for help much, but living at home, it has its perks, but I'm trying to move
Yeah.
soon, yeah.
I don't know anyone looking for roommates right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because most of
I
my
got
friends are
ideas.
girls.
I got some ideas that I'm pursuing, which are exciting. And we'll see what pops. We'll see what
I rent a house with my boyfriend. I really want to have like a party this
That's
summer
cool.
with like comics and some of my friends.
Nice.
Intermingle, you're invited, obviously.
Hell yeah.
But I was thinking, we got a decent backyard, have like a bring your own mini pool party.
Ooh, bring your own mini pool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we just have them all around the yard. People
Yeah.
just be chilling in the sun, and, like beer pong and shit. Be a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the coolest baby pool.
Hell yeah.
And then put a keg in it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I want to throw some parties this summer for sure.
Yeah, how's the party life at Purdue?
A lot of my friends were a year above me, so when I was a freshman, they were sophomores and vice versa. So I turned 21, like right before COVID shut everything down. So I had maybe like 3 weeks to go to the bars
Damn.
and get drunk and enjoy myself, and then
Did you ever-
everything.
No fake IDs?
No. I didn't care enough, honestly. I did run from the cops once with a group of people, like, because we were underage. And I had rum from that cruise I went to in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I had drank it that night, and I had to toss my bottle in some random person's yard while I was running. The next morning I grabbed it, and I'm pretty sure I still have that bottle.
That's cool. I've never really ran from the cops. No, can't say I have.
There was a lot of us, so I didn't feel that serious, you know? Maybe that was the only time I've ran from the cops. Kind of a goody two-shoes. I didn't like getting in trouble.
Yeah, I kept a low-key enough profile to where I didn't get in trouble. I definitely had a fake ID. That's a level of incriminating myself I'll take on. I enjoyed college. I really partied relatively hard late high school, so I feel like I popped off pretty early. And then college, I felt a little grounded, you know, like I had to get my shit together.
I hated frat parties. I think they sucked. It's always just like so sexually charged. Like I don't know. The vibes were just never for me. And it was always the cheap alcohol you get and just make you feel like extra shit. I don't know.
Yeah, really. I think I went to one frat party. Not really my scene either. And I shit talk frats, and I do it there. I don't know. They just not my crew.
Yeah, I
always say they're paying for friends.
I never rushed or did sororities, but Purdue also had things called co-ops, which were a little different than a sorority. I don't know how different, but I had some friends in one, and they were like, Maya, live with us. I'll bid on you, or how that works. And I was like,
oh, bid on you? Damn, that sounds racist as fuck, dude.
And I was like, I want to be your big or whatever. I was like, 5 girls share a room, and it looks like shit. I've been up there. No, thank you.
See, they're just trying to recruit friends. They're trying to pay for friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not my scene. I've always been kind of like, I don't know. There's a communal aspect that's like cool, that like brothers for life, but like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you bonded over like, I don't know, a jizz kit and getting drunk and shit.
Like your parents have boats or whatever.
Yeah.
I need to make friends with boats, dude.
Yeah, boats are fun.
Yeah, your parents have boats?
My parents have a boat.
Well, hit me up with the cruise.
I'm trying to get something organized, like pop off and have like a comedy weekend at the lake.
That would be super fun.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, you'll definitely get the invite. I think the date's finalized, but I want to make sure before I like really invite people.
One of the first comedy parties I went to, Val Werner, she put together, I want to say, like a Labor Day thing, which was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still pretty new to it, so I met a lot of people. But hers was like an open invite to the whole comedy scene.
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't have like necessarily issues with people, but like I don't want everyone to know where I live.
Yeah,
and I really feel like I'm a nice person and I want to get along with everybody, but in the same sense, I've learned recently it's okay not to like everybody.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You shouldn't like everybody.
No.
There's some assholes, you know?
Yeah.
There's some people that have genuinely done hurtful things to themselves and others, and it's like, I'm a very friendly and personable guy, I feel like, and there's people with bad habits that I entertain too much, for sure. For sure.
No, it's just like, I'm kind of scared of, this is probably just like normal thoughts, but like invite some people, be like, why don't you invite this person? I'm like, one, either we don't talk, or like there's just some reasons why. Maybe I just don't want them to know where I live, or like if you want to invite somebody that wasn't on the list, ask me first, and then we'll talk about it. Maybe, you know.
Yeah, it like honestly, it brings me so much back to high school and being like, who we invite to this party? Who we can we invite them? If we invite them, we gotta invite them.
Yeah.
It just becomes messy, and I don't care for drama too much.
Oh God, me neither.
So
no.
The goal with this trip to the lake is that I really want to get a show at this VFW venue.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
on top of a brewery. That would be so epic. So if I could like get a show booked and then invite a bunch of comics to enjoy the weekend and then we do a show,
Hell yeah.
it would be so lit. So I'm trying to make it happen.
I'm not much of a drinker, but if you give me some White Claws next to a body of water, it's on.
Yeah, for sure. There's a time and a place to, indulge in a lake. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them. I love it.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see if we can make that happen.
Any more questions for me to fill up your list of juicy content?
Not too much.
You
How long have you been in comedy? I don't think I even asked you that.
Yeah, so in 2024, I started the class at Helium. My graduation
Okay.
show was on April 10th. So I kind of consider that like my anniversary day. So
Nice.
I started doing open mics right after I graduated, and I booked my first show August of 2024. So I say my anniversary is like April 2024, so about a year.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was just a beat behind in fall of that year.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that started around the time I did, and they're like pretty successful.
Yeah.
Like Kevin King produces shows. He's hilarious.
Yeah,
He's
for
booked
sure.
all the time. He pretty much started when I did. And then Queen Quamo, she is so funny, really nice lady. She pretty much started when I did too, and she's going places.
Fuck yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's dope. I like my good buddies, like pre-comedy that are also doing comedy now, or like Mason Voxlow.
He's so
Love that
funny.
guy.
He's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
So is his girlfriend. I like him a lot.
Yeah, they're awesome. Shout out Mason and Araya, very epic, and Jalen we go back to. And Jalen, he started just a minute before me, or at least started doing open mics before me, and told me about Planetary, and that's really how I like jumped into the open mic scene and started to meet people. And so us three hit Planetary pretty regularly, and yeah, I just love the journey with them. I think like Mason, a super different style than me. I think he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen, hilarious.
He's multifaceted. He's a musician too. Like
Yeah, he's a hell of an artist.
Yeah.
And then his brother Titi, he directs. He's a director. He does like short films.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all working on a short film together too.
That's so fun.
That's gonna be super fun to film this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did like costume fitting.
Ooh.
Yeah, shout out TT. He's got me excited because got like a full suit he like had ready for me.
Wow.
And I got a gun. I got to pick out my gun for the movie.
Nice.
I was super excited. I was like, give me the biggest one. That one on the big one.
Oh yeah.
I'm super excited. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. You ever done? You got any acting experience? Well, drama
Drama club, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like film or anything, but I'd be super down to do
Yeah.
short films, like writing scripts or costume design. Obviously, I put that whole Ouija costume together,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Which
also-
big crush.
thank you.
Yeah.
Also with like D&D, that'll involve some cosplay at some point. So yeah, I would love to do some films. I think that'd be super fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I haven't really wrote a film or anything, but I could see that being a super fun exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Just pursue. I'm very much a concept-driven person. Like I want to have a concept I really believe in and think there's a
And
lot
writing a
around.
story is different than necessarily like a stand-up, because the story you have a beginning, like you got the rise to the climax and a whole plot and then your resolution, and there's just so many details in between to keep consistent. It's a lot different than choo-choo with rope.
Yeah, and to make it funny throughout all of those phases, because I would definitely want to do a comedy. Would be, definitely a challenge. Like I love the Sleight night because a lot of my material, I feel like most of my material is self-deprecating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to shift focus not on myself.
Yeah.
You know?
It's free bullying. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you get to bully without consequences.
Yeah.
Well, unless you say something really messed up, but...
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I'm pushing the envelope. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like, I got no plan on like slinging the N-word around or anything to get me in trouble, but I've said some reckless things.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, I don't like that, Evan.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I go for it. I go for it a lot. It's super fun. You got you want to promote any shows or anything coming up?
Sleight night on the 17th, the Planetary. I believe on the 30th we've got Mucky Ducks, what do they call it? Quackers Comedy Club opening night.
Yeah,
and then,
we're both on that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. 30th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the
Quackers.
The 31st, I'm doing, I think it's Deviate Brewery. I'm not too familiar with it. I think it's like the Carmel area.
Yeah, I've heard of it before.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been.
But that's it thus far for May. Like I said, I'm trying not to book too much right now because I've got to get surgery on my teeth.
Yeah.
And I have yet to cancel on a show I've agreed to do. So I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate canceling plans for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be late. I don't want to, like, just for anything, especially comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a punctual person.
Me too.
You know?
I was like, I'm going to get here at 11:01. I'm going to look like an asshole.
No, you're great. You're great. Yeah, this is an AM podcast, which is fun. Yeah, I'm going to crank it out after this. It's going to come out tomorrow. I'll drop all of your links in the description.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks
Really
for
just
coming on.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, really, I don't care for social media that much, but
Yeah.
thank you for having me, Evan. I like to talk.
Yeah, I think we crushed it. All right, well, you want to do the intro?
Sure.
All right. Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast.
That's Evan Ham.
That's Maya Smith.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Great talk. Getting ready, gearing up for the Sleight night roast between us.
Yes, friendly bullying.
Friendly bullying.
Friendly fire.
Come out to see us fight the 17th.
I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah, we'll both crush. It'll be great.
What else? Talking about just our lives, trying to get content for this roast to see what we can pick on each other about.
Yeah. Give us a little rundown with our lives. You know.
Funny.
Sweden Drama Club.
Taking animals to school.
Taking animals to school. Relationships. A really fun podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Evan Ham.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the episode. Thanks again.